Hey guys, how you doing? Another review by Audiohead here. We have an unboxing of the legendary Oppo BDP 95. There's a version of this called the 93 as well. It basically shares the same video output as this one. However, it does not include the output stage for audio like this one has. This one has additional DACs included in it, and also has separate power supplies just for the audio outs. So I want to do an unboxing. There's quite a bit of good stuff that comes with this thing, and a review as well. One of the first things I wanted to show was, the well-dressed polish as far as this particular box and unboxing is concerned. It comes with it packaged actually in this handy bag in the back. I mean, none of this stuff is really essential for audio listening, but it just kind of shows well-rounded packaging and thorough thought into every kind of all-in-one package for all the good stuff you get with it. Yeah, there's not a whole lot extra to buy. If you want to go that route, you can always soup things up by buying better cables, power supply if you want, or definitely including some, maybe upgrade the analog cables for sure. But as far as what comes with this thing, it's pretty impressive. I wanted to show you guys the power cord that comes with this thing. It is probably, I would say without a doubt, the biggest, thickest power supply cord that I've ever seen included for free with an audio piece of audio equipment. I mean, look at this thing; it is massive. It also comes with your remote. Standard, nothing too special here. I mean, it works. That's really great. Also comes with this box of supplies here. Pretty nice box that's included with it. HDMI cable here, fairly thick, very sturdy. That's always nice. Also, probably one of the most thickest and best I've seen. Included with the purchase is a wireless transmitter for Wi-Fi access, so you can hardwire this in, but it also comes with the adapter free, so you have to purchase that. Pretty great. And we have here connected to the USB port, an external USB dongle if you want to attach another USB thing to it, which is pretty nice. An extender. Because there is a USB input into the back of this that does a couple of different functions. You can also do an IR, an infrared extender, if you so wish. I'm going to turn this thing around. I'm going to show you what's in the back here. As you can see, as it is packaged, all of the component, well, at least the single-ended outputs and inputs are all covered with a nice silicone cover. So that's kind of a really nice thing too. Attention to detail, that's what it's kind of all about when it comes to a lot of these things. I like it a lot. You can see here on the left side, this actually contains XLR balanced outputs, not unbalanced, sorry, balanced outputs for the stereo out. There's definitely a nod towards the audiophile kind of player that this thing really does, because it does SACDs, DVD audio CDs, it does the high-res stuff as well as streaming, and you can hook up a stick with high-res files or even an external storage here, eSATA connections. This thing really kind of does a lot of streaming, Netflix, those things too. You can see the outputs for the surround sound lined up here at the top. Very nice, all analog outputs, separate DAC for that. So like I said before, this thing really, if you're looking for great audio output, that's a notch above what the 93 version has. This is really the way to go. It has a lot better power supply going into there, and I can tell you from experience, I tested these analog outs against the digital optical here, running into an external DAC even, and I can tell you the sound is better. It is a little more refined, and it's just you can definitely tell the resolution is better. I found it to be a little more detailed in that right around the vocal range, right underneath the vocal range, I found a really nice sweet spot where it was just seemed a lot more clear, a lot more coherent across the spectrum, but especially around the vocals on this one. Something really special with the output on the analog here. I know a lot of people kind of refer to this as the reference one. It does retail for about $1,000, and there's the 93, as I mentioned earlier, is $500, so it's nearly twice the price. But if you're looking for audio output, I can definitely see why this one is so highly regarded, especially for the price point. There are probably better Blu-ray players and universal players and CD players out there, but after this price point, after the threshold of $1,000, it starts to get really big, and the top brand audiophile companies kind of take over, and you see a huge increase, $3,000, $2,000, $5,000. I would have to argue, although I have not sampled all those, that you're going to start to see the law of diminishing returns kind of really peek its head in there. So for $1,000, even though this is quite pricey for some, I start to think this is where, after this point, you start to see the diminishing returns kind of really take hold. So that's something to think about when you're looking at this. But if you're looking for a good DVD player, a Blu-ray player, around the $500 mark, people speak very highly of the 93 as well. So as you can see, it has two HDMI outputs, a hardwire connection on the left side. It comes with a lot of great things. I thought the sound personally was outstanding. Some of the best I've heard out of a CD player. You could run this thing right to an external DAC if you wanted to, but more likely you could just plug this directly into your favorite headphone amplifier or your amplifier for your stereo system and be ready to go for 2-channel listening. Also has, of course, all the outputs for multi-channel listening through your stereo if you wanted to go that route too. But you know, we try to keep a lot of the listening on the YouTube channel about 2-channel. And when you really consider 2-channel DVD, Blu-ray players, and the high-res audio, and just CD players as well, you know, this is one of the best I've heard, especially for the price point. I can't stress that enough. It's very, very tasty. The only other thing that I would like to mention about this, the one downfall I did see, let me just add on the end here, is that the DVD drawer, the Blu-ray drawer, it wasn't quite as luxurious as some of the higher end. That's one place for room for improvement that I have seen. There's no you know, sustain vibration reduction little plate that you put on it or anything really heavy duty. It is your standard slide out tray that jiggles a little bit. So I didn't have any issues with it, but if you're talking about straight polish, it would have been nice to see a little upgrade to the tray and kind of, you know, be on par with the rest of the really fancy kind of players out there. But I mean, I didn't come into any issues with it aside from that aesthetic. So that's probably the only downside I've really seen. The other thing I'd really like to comment is, you know, even these feet, you know, they have a very good shock absorbing material. So there's like a lot of attention, even more attention to detail, and you know, to reduce those vibrations. Because when you set it down, I mean, there's like weight to this thing. It's got pretty good, you know, sizable. It's a fairly large one in and of itself just by the size of it. It's almost the largest component that I've really reviewed in a while. But the feet, even this feet, it's like when you set it down, you can know you feel it, like the shock absorption right on there. So I mean, that's a really nice touch. The whole thing really well built, and I kind of like the styling too. It's subtle. It looks good. It's refined. It's not too flashy. Just looks like a good piece of equipment sitting on your rack. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments section. Subscribe if you can.